is William Rivera. Let's give a big round of applause to Dre for even first speaker of the day, so I know you guys are probably tired, you know, it's early. So my job is to just give you guys as much value as possible here since we're going first. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest motivational speaker, but I don't think you guys need the motivation. I think you guys just need the tactics so you can go out there and really make a lot of money. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you the tactics. I've made over $40 million on the internet, selling coaching, selling courses. I've been in the internet marketing space since 2018. And two things that I've really learned how to do is how to grow an audience, and then the best money model to like monetize that audience. And I haven't just done this for me, I've done this for many other people as well. For example, my girlfriend, literally she had 5,000 followers last year. From then to now, she's at 125,000 followers because a business does over $5 million a year. So this formula works no matter what niche you're in, no matter how long you've been in the space, and no matter how many followers you have. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Cool. So first I want to talk about how big this market really is. So right now there's about 5.4 billion people using social media. And if you think about the amount of people that are consuming social media and the amount of people that are actually posting, there's a huge delta. Like there's probably a couple million creators, but again, there's 5 billion people using these apps like Instagram, Facebook every single day. So that's why it's not that hard to go viral on these platforms, because there's just a lot more consumers than there are people actually posting on these platforms. So that alone is a huge money opportunity if you're willing to post, if you're willing to make content, if you're willing to put yourself out there. Just the e-learning market in general is a $350 billion industry, and it's supposed to double by 2030. So e-learning is like courses, coaching, consulting, huge industry. A lot of people, you know, they don't realize how big this space really is. This is why you see companies like WAP, fan bases, you know, raising hundreds of millions of dollars in private equity, just throwing money at them because they see this and most people don't. Now, if you have a skill set, some type of expertise, if there's something that you just do better than others, you have the opportunity to grab, you know, a percentage of this $700 billion that's just out there in the ether, right? You don't have to be like number one. For example, my program is on e-commerce. It's on teaching people how to make money on Amazon, how to make money on Walmart as well. And I'm not the best e-commerce seller out there, but I also don't market to people that are super advanced. I market to beginners. So as long as you can help someone take that first step, as long as you can help someone get to like from point A to point B, then there's a marketplace out there where you can make a lot of money. Again, if you have a skill or specialized knowledge, you have the power to change lives. These people that you see on the screen, they're holding this award right here. So this is an award that I give to every single person that's in my e-commerce program that ends up making over 6 figures online. And we've shipped out over 3,000 of these awards. It's actually one of my students, Connor. This is a picture that I took of him in Israel. He's doing about $50,000 a month selling Tide laundry detergent on platforms like Amazon and Walmart. So again, a lot of people we've been able to help with this information. And obviously making money is cool, but the fact that you can have actual impact on people all across the world, I think that's even cooler. But we're also going to talk about making a lot of money too, because that's also really cool. And again, you can make money in any niche. So this is actually one of my clients. His name is Carter, and he's doing about $1 million a month right now teaching people how to save money on taxes. So it's not just like, a lot of people think that you can only make money online if you're teaching other people how to make money. That's the BizOp niche, business opportunity. It's one of the biggest niches in e-learning. But there's a bunch of other niches out there where you can still capture a lot of income. For example, Carter, again, teaches people how to save money on taxes, specifically high-earning individuals, and that market is still big enough for him to make over $1 million a month. One of my friends, Bees, another one of my clients, she makes about $500,000 a month teaching people how to get a job in tech. Like, think about how niche that is, like how small of a niche that is, but again, she's able to make over $5 million a year doing this. Another one of my friends, David Omari, doing about $1 million a month teaching people how to make money on YouTube. So I mean, the money is out there for grabs, guys. And again, I'm going to teach you guys how to monetize your skill set. Jordan Welch, another person that I've consulted with the strategies that you guys are about to learn today, he did about $1 million in 3 months. Again, using these webinar strategies, and because it doesn't matter like if you have an audience. There's a lot of people out there that have millions of followers, but they don't know how to actually monetize it. So that's what we're going to be covering today. today. Now, a little bit about me. Again, my name is William Rivera. Literally 8 years ago, I was working at an Amazon warehouse making $11 an hour. That was me. I was working at a warehouse in Jefferson, Georgia. How many of you guys have ever been to Jefferson, Georgia? All right, good. There's nothing there. Literally, the only thing there is this warehouse that employs like the whole town. So I was working there from 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. every single day. I also got arrested on a felony charge when I was 17. So I show you this so that you can understand that, like, I'm not a genius by any means, but I've been able to make so much money online because it's not hard. You don't have to be smart to make a lot of money. You really just have to be bold. A lot of people aren't willing to put themselves out there. And if I can do this, every single one of you guys in here can do this too. I was fired from pretty much every job you can think of: QT, Panera Bread, Burlington. I was a terrible employee. I hated when people told me what to do. So I was really never meant to be an employee. And I think one of the biggest reasons why I'm where I'm at today is because I had a strong why. And I'm sure all of you guys in here, you know, obviously you want to make a lot of money, but there's like an underlying reason why you want to make a lot of money. For me, you know, I grew up in a household with my mom, 2 other little brothers, and every single year we would move. And I never went to a school for more than 1 year up until high school was actually the time where I went to that school and I actually graduated, went out 4 years there. It's because me and my mom would always have to move, always have to go to a cheaper area. And I watched her work so hard growing up and work multiple jobs, yet still not make a lot of money. And what that taught me when I was young was, okay, even if you work hard, that doesn't mean that you're gonna make a lot of money. So you have to work smart. Like, you have to find something where that's valuable in the marketplace, and that's how you actually make money. So I appreciate that I grew up like that because I understood at a very early age that I had to do something different. And this has been my why always. When I was growing up, I was like, okay, I want to do something where I'm going to be able to buy my mom a house one day. And I knew that getting a regular job wasn't going to be that. And that's why I chose entrepreneurship at such an early age. Literally, I graduated from high school and I immediately went into entrepreneurship, didn't even really go to college. And the first opportunity that I found on the internet, I'm sure like a lot of you guys, when you're trying to make money and you haven't really figured out what you want to do, you go down this rabbit hole on the internet. You see all these different opportunities like Airbnb, e-commerce, Forex, stocks. Like, it's kind of overwhelming. And for me, what made a lot of sense, and then again, keep in mind, I'm not like the smartest person either. The only thing that made sense to me was like, okay, I don't think I'm smart enough to build a brand. I don't think I'm smart enough to like create this revolutionary product. But I found out that there's a business model that allows you to open up wholesale accounts with brands that people already know, like, and trust, brands that people already buy things from, and you can simply buy their products at wholesale prices and then resell them on platforms like Amazon and Walmart and make a margin in between. To me, that made sense because I was like, okay, this is less risky. Retail price and make that margin in between, and people are buying these things every single day, you know, I can make a lot of money. That's exactly what I did. So I went on to make over 6 figures on both of these platforms when I was like 18, from like 18 to 21. So this was from like 2017 to like 2021 or 2020. And I documented that journey on social media. And the reason why I documented the journey on social media is because while I was learning this skill set, this was back in 2017, I was seeing all these people posting these YouTube videos, the same people that I was learning from, and I saw the vision. I was like, okay, these people are making all this money because they have a personal brand. And I saw how valuable that was. And also, Gary Vee had just released a book called Crushing It, and I bought his book, and in that book he was talking about how your personal brand was going to be your biggest like weapon and your biggest advantage to like in today's age, like 2026. He wrote this book like 10 years ago. And even though I wasn't making a lot of money online yet, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start posting and documenting my journey, because once I figure out how to do this and once I start making money online, I wanna drop a program, I wanna create a curriculum, and I know that's gonna be my actual way to like making millions of dollars, because that market is huge and it's early. And I remember I bought a book from Grant Cardone. It's called like Millionaire Math, or like the Millionaire Booklet. And this page right here, like, really, it shifted the way that I thought, because it made it so attainable for me to make $1 million. Like, I remember seeing this exact page, and right here it says, if you get 1,000 people to buy a $1,000 product, that's $1 million. And I remember I used to post on social media, and I used to see other people post on social media. I'm like, these guys are getting tens of thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views, billions of views. So you're telling me if just 1,000 people pay them $1,000, that's already $1 million. That's all I have to do. This right here, like, to me, it was irresponsible for me to even get a 9 to 5 if this is how easy it is to become a billionaire. I was like, I just need 1,000 people to make $1 million. And once I looked at that math, and the math made sense to me, I went all in on building my personal brand. So I started posting videos on YouTube. This is a video that I posted like, I don't even know, like 6, 7 years ago. I was like 19. Right here, you can see this is my company, eCommerce University. I just had a vinyl in my room, and I was just documenting the journey. And over time, you know, people started to pay attention. People started to see what I was doing. I got featured on Yahoo Finance for making $300,000 a month with my Amazon business. I got featured on this small business show, a place in like Atlanta, Georgia. And celebrities started reaching out. People like Shaquille O'Neal, DC Young Fly, Tobias Harris, David Benavidez, NBA players, celebrities, etc., trying to learn how to make money on Amazon because I was the biggest in the space. I was the one that was posting the most. I was everywhere. I got featured on all these big podcasts, $1 million worth of game with Gillian Wallo, Social Proof, Earn Your Leisure. Taking advantage of the fact that there was no big like public figure talking about how to make money online in my specific niche. But more importantly, there wasn't really anyone that was vulnerable enough to tell their story. And that was really my advantage the whole time is every single podcast that I would get on, I would lead with, you know, I was a felon at 17. I used to work at an Amazon warehouse and making $11 an hour, and now I'm a multi-millionaire, and that's what really blew me up. And one of these, this is Zig Ziglar's quote, which if you don't know who Zig Ziglar is, he's like a big sales guy. He was like earlier than Grant Cardone. And he said, you can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough people get what they want. And that's always been like a core principle of mine, and this is true. Because the more people that I've helped in life, the more people that have gotten into my program, gotten results, it's always led to me making even more money. So fast forward to today, my company, ecomdegree.com, we have shipped over 3,000 of those awards that I showed you of people that have made over 6 figures. We have 30 employees worldwide, and we've helped our students make over $30 million. And again, this literally started with me just making videos on YouTube with this weak-ass vinyl on my wall. It's like $20 vinyl. So it's crazy what happens when you're like consistent. Today, you know, we've made over $45 million with coaching. I've been able to retire my mom. I was able to buy my mom a house cash, which was the initial goal 3 years ago. And I live a pretty cool life. There's actually me and my family in Dubai right before like fireworks, like we got out in time. It's like, yeah, a couple weeks ago. I've been able to get like every internet marketing award that there is to get. And I have a portfolio of companies now. So ecomdegree.com, the one that I was just talking about to you guys, is like my baby. We have 20,000 students worldwide. My girlfriend's company, Her Last Call, we help women get into sales. So we have 7,000 students there. And Future First Advisors is the most recent company I started. It's a Medicare agency. And then Scan Profit is an Amazon and Walmart software that all of our students in Ecom Degree use. And I'll talk about how like all of these intertwine in some way. So again, today's agenda, I'm going to show you guys how to grow an audience the fastest way possible and the most profitable way to like actually monetize that audience. So this is something that I want you guys to really like absorb. Your edge isn't what you teach, it's who you are. So when I got into this business, there was already a lot of people out there teaching Amazon, teaching Walmart. They were in my niche. But again, none of them were absorbing, like, or none of them were promoting their story. The only thing unique about me and these other people out there, like, keep in mind, like, there was other people out there promoting the same program that I had that were making a lot more money than me. They were a lot more qualified than me. But I leaned into the fact that I was a felon at 17. I leaned into the fact that I was working at this Amazon warehouse, and people want to buy from people that they resonate with. So that was like my huge advantage the whole time. And someone can easily copy your offer, but they can't copy your story. So your story, that's actually your USP. That's actually your differentiator. And all of my videos that have gone the most viral on social media are videos where I led with, 5 years ago I was working at an Amazon warehouse. I only had $400 in my bank account. So what I'm about to tell you literally took me from that to where I'm at. So this video got like 8 million views. We ran it as an ad, it got like 100 million plus views, made us millions of dollars. And what you'll realize is like, these social media platforms are so smart, especially with AI, that they're gonna show people that are just like you your content. So like, when I actually look at my customer list and I look at everybody that's in e-com degree, the majority of those 20,000 people are people just like me. Like, they're Hispanic, a lot of them used to work in a warehouse, a lot of them used to work at the Amazon warehouse, and a lot of them got in trouble when they were earlier, like, went to jail, some of them are felons, etc. And it's because I promote that like in the content. That's my hook, so it attracts those people, and obviously those people, they resonate the most with me, so they're gonna buy from me. That separates me from the competition. So yeah, again, there are thousands of e-commerce and Amazon offers out there, but who do you think those people are gonna do business with, right? They're gonna do business with the person that they resonate the most with. So your story, it's your superpower, it's gonna lower your cost per lead, it's gonna increase your conversion rates, and it's your actual USP. Now, the fastest way to build an audience, unless you're someone that's like super charismatic, or you have a crazy personality, or you're just saying crazy shit on the internet because you don't care. Other than that, the fastest way to build an audience is to just stand in front of someone else's. Like, there's a lot of people in here, probably 90% of the room of you, the people in here, you don't know who I am. But I'm standing in front of Dre's audience, so now I'm immediately exposed to all of you guys, and now all of you guys know who I am. So that's just what I've done, like, over the span of my career. I realized that, okay, Will, like, unfortunately, you don't have this crazy personality. You're a pretty chill guy. I'm not willing to risk my dignity and say crazy shit on the internet, so I don't have that going for me. But I understand that there's other people out there that have millions of followers, and if I can just get in front of those people, then immediately, that gives me opportunity to sell and to get customers. So the first like big breakthrough that I had in business, at the time I was doing like 100K a month, and this was me like hustling, like posting every single day, posting on YouTube, editing all my stuff, just being everywhere, but I'm doing like a lot of work. My first big breakthrough was I got on this podcast, $1 million worth of game. It's big in like the hip hop culture space. They have 1.8 million subscribers on YouTube, and Gilly and Wallow are the hosts, and they're like celebrities again in the hip hop space. And I paid to get on. So through a connection, I got in contact with Wallow and Gilly, and I was like, all right, they only interview rappers, by the way. So I was like, okay, I'm not a rapper, but how can I get on this show? Like, I want to like get in front of your audience. And they were like, okay, what we can do is we can do a business spotlight. So basically, we'll interview you in between another person's interview that's way more famous than you. And I was like, all right, that's perfect. So the first time that I did it, I was on Coy Ray's episode. And this is 3 years ago when Coy Ray was like popping a little bit. So they did this interview with Coy Ray. Video got 300,000 views. And it's a 1 hour interview. And in the middle of the interview, they interview me for like 10 minutes. So I have like 10 minutes to like talk my shit, tell my story, and like pitch my offer. And so I did that. Then I did it with Brent Fayez. And then I did it with Des Dior and Jada Waiter. So I did this multiple times. And again, in the middle of the interviews, this is what it looks like. It's Wallow and Gilly interviewing me, and then we play like a little commercial where they text Amazon game to this number, and then I give them like a free training. So I'm getting like all these leads. So I did this a couple times, and I got over like it was something ridiculous, like over 200,000 leads, over 200,000 people that now know who I am. And I invited them all to a free training where they can learn more about who I am, learn more about selling on Amazon, etc. And literally just this play right here, intercepting this audience took us from making about $100,000 a month to literally going to $1 million a month, and then $2 million a month. Because I was really a nobody before I got on this podcast, but then I hopped on and I just gained an insane audience. And I was like, okay, that worked. Let me keep doing this. So I started reaching out again to companies that had way more of a fan base, way more of an audience than me. So Spiritual Word, 3 million followers on Instagram. I started paying for them to promote me on their Instagram page. Wealth, a lot of you guys probably follow Wealth. They're like the biggest business media company on IG. I started paying them to promote me as well. American Income, I think he's a speaker here, like Dre's interviewing him. I was actually the first person to ever pay him to get on his page. So, because I knew that this worked, so like a part of my strategy was always to go on social media and see what pages were on the rise, and then I would immediately DM them before they got too big, you know, because obviously the price goes up once they get big. And I would DM them and be like, yo, how much to get on this page? So Adam, the owner of American Income, he'll tell you, I was actually the first person to ever pay him to get on this page. He flew out to Atlanta, interviewed me, and we did like, I think the video that we did together got like 1 million views or something crazy. Made a lot of money with it too. And the strategy when you're paying to get on these pages is you don't want your stuff to look like an ad. So for example, Spiritual Word, all of their posts look like this. So I copied the format. So you can see this was my post on Spiritual Word. It looks exactly like their post. And it says, Millionaire at 24 teaches students how you escape the matrix. And it's like one of my best performing videos. So I knew that if it performed well organically, it's gonna perform well on this page as well. This was Hip Hop Now TV. Felon makes over $650,000 online during the pandemic and buys his first real estate investment property at 22. So I would make meme style posts like this, videos like this, and I would promote it across these big pages with big followings. This is another one right here. This ad right here got over 100 million views, where it was me wearing a Rolex, and I was like, before you buy this Fiji water. For some reason, that shit went crazy. But posted that on like Hip Hop Now TV as well, and did very well. This is me and Adam. Again, this is like the first post on American Income that was paid for, 1.6 million views on his page. And Hollywood Unlocked, the same thing. Amazon employee makes over $1 million a year. So I would just find like catchy headlines, crazy headlines that I knew would pull a lot of views. And it got to the point where this was working so well that I hired a team of virtual assistants overseas, where all they would do every single day is find pages for me. And then they would DM them, and then they would put the price of how much it was to post. I would give them like a virtual card, and they would just pay. Every single day I was getting posted on pages, 50 to 100 pages a day. And we got into a system where like we knew exactly what pages we wanted to be on, and we made sure that the demographics were good enough to where they could actually like afford our products. So you can see right here, it says like demographics, it says like Indian. So it's like they have a huge Indian following, they're not gonna buy shit. And then this one says, this one says like slightly Indian. So that one's like it's a 50-50. But so that's how you get an audience. That's how you get attention. But you don't make money from traffic. You make money from how fast you turn that traffic and that attention into the lead. So one thing that I want you guys to realize is like as we're getting on all these pages, yeah, they're following me, and yeah, I'm gaining an audience, but someone following you, that's not enough for them to actually turn into a customer. This is why you meet people with millions of followers and they're broke, because they don't know how to monetize their audience. So as I'm getting all these followers, as these pages are going viral, they're posting me, I'm also posting on my page, and I'm going on IG Live, and I'm inviting people to a free training that I do every single week. And I'm gonna get into like exactly what that free training looks like, what that system looks like. But to simplify it, pretty much looks like this. So all the traffic that I'm getting, whether it's from like these pages, ads, my content, I send all of it to one place, to a free training. This free training happens every single week. It's live. And the whole point of this free training is to take this cold lead and turn them into a customer by getting them to know, like, and trust me, and giving them value so that they're educated enough to make a decision at the end to purchase my program. So this right here literally made me $40 million. It's a very simple system. And the reason why it works is because a typical customer journey looks like this. Like someone may see your post, maybe it pops up on like the For You, maybe you get on a podcast, whatever, they follow you. But when they follow you, they still don't really trust you. So, they just follow you, and then you're posting, they're seeing some of your stuff. Then eventually, probably a couple months later, if you're posting enough, and if you're enticing enough, they start considering maybe working with you. But now they put you in the comparison stage. They're like, okay, like I like this person, but there's other people that do what they do. Are they actually better than the other people that do what they do? Then, if you're good enough and you make it past the comparison stage, You get to the preference stage where they're like, okay, I actually prefer this person over other people. They're giving me a lot of value. And then if you're actually vulnerable enough and you're posting content like about yourself, your upbringing, etc., you hit that resonation stage, and then they become a customer. Typically this takes 6 months. Sometimes it takes longer. The whole point of the free training is we don't got 6 months. Like, it's way too long. So how do we make it 2 hours? So in the same amount of time, or in a shorter period of time than it would take for like a regular person, we condense it to 2 hours, where in this 2-hour training, I give them enough information about me to where they can trust me. I give them enough value to where they already prefer me over other people, because like 30 minutes in, they're like, damn, this guy's giving me way more value than I've gotten from anyone else on the world. Like, I want to do business with this guy. And then in the free training, I'm also showing them testimonials of people just like them that learned from me that made money. So in this 2-hour training, on top of this, we're funneling a lot of people on here. Like we're having like 2,000, 3,000 people at a time on these trainings that we're doing. We're converting them into buyers within this 2-hour time frame through this formula right here. And another thing that people don't realize is like, the more value you give someone, the more you can charge. And the longer the conversation, the higher the compensation, right? And what I mean by this is like, if someone follows you and they click the link in your bio, it's very unlikely that if you have a payment link of $1,000, they're just gonna be like, all right, bet, I'm gonna buy this $1,000 program. But if you invite them to a free training, they're there for 2 hours, they learn that you're legit, they know, like, and trust you, you give them value, you show testimonials, etc. Now they're way more willing to pay $1,000 because the conversation was longer and you gave them a lot more value than them just going to the link in your bio and hoping that they do business with you. So because of this, I was able to go from selling $49 programs, because in the beginning I didn't know much, and I was doing what a lot of people do right now. I was just funneling traffic to my page and hoping people would click the link in my bio and buy my stuff. And that works if you're selling super low ticket. Like, you have to sell under $100, because if it's under $100, it doesn't take too much consideration if they should do it or not. It's not that much money. So we were making, again, like $100,000 a month selling a $49 program. But because the conversation wasn't really that long and the value wasn't really there, we had to charge low ticket. When we switched over to doing the free training for the same exact program, just repackaged in a little bit of a different way, we started charging $1,500. And our conversion rate like tripled, because the conversation was longer, people trusted me more, and they just received a lot more value before I told them to purchase. And again, the funnel is very simple, guys. Like, again, all these pages we're posting me, we were running ads as well, but you honestly don't even have to run ads if you're getting pages like this to post you. And we're funneling all that traffic to a page like this, where it's basically telling them like, hey, I'm doing a free workshop on Sunday at this time, register for it. They put in their name, phone number, email, we send them reminders. And just kind of like how Dre did, literally I woke up this morning, I was getting texts from Dre like, oh, the event's at this time, go up this elevator. I'm like, damn, he's on top of it. People do that stuff for show rate, to make sure that people actually show up. So we do the same thing for the free trainings. And this is a hack right here too. So as soon as people register for the free training, they get to this page right here where it says, wait, before the training on Sunday, I actually have something for you. It's $27. And it can really be anything, but in our case, it's like, hey, we created this playbook for you. We highly recommend that you watch it before the workshop. And that's a way to monetize the audience before they even show up to the webinar. Another thing that this does for us is it lets us know how many buyers are going to be in the room. For the clients that I help sell their coaching stuff, if you have 1,000 people register and no one buys this right after they register, I can tell you're not going to make any money, because everyone that just registered is broke. If 1,000 people register and 100 people buy this, not only did you make already a good amount of money before the webinar even started, but now I know, okay, there's 100 buyers in the room. So with a 10%, maybe 20% conversion rate, probably 10 to 20 of them are going to buy your $1,000 offer. Like, I already know that off the back of my head. So that's what it does for our team. It allows us to, if we're spending money on ads, it liquidates our ad spend, but more importantly, it lets us know how many buyers are in the room, and we're able to change stuff if we don't see that many purchases coming in from that. Like maybe the pages that we're paying to post us have very low quality people that follow it. Or maybe the ads that we're running are attracting very like low quality people as well. So it helps us change things when we're doing the advertising. Now another thing that we do is as soon as they register for the training, like after they buy the $27 offer, or if they say no, regardless, they go to a thank you page and we invite everyone to a free Facebook group. Now this free Facebook group is better than an email list because if you think about it, not many people check their email nowadays because we get so much spam. But a lot of people check their social media apps. And my audience, when it comes to like teaching people e-commerce, you have to know your audience because for some of you guys, if you're teaching like younger people, maybe Discord would be better for you. Or maybe WhatsApp would be better for you. But for me, Facebook is like what my audience uses. So I invite them to a free Facebook group on the thank you page. And again, yeah, it says right here, like join the Facebook group. This is the most important step. And we use this Facebook group for a lot of things. As you can see, it grew to over 69,000 people. So we've been doing this for a long time. And I'll show you guys like some of the ways that we use this Facebook group, but primarily we use it for show rating. So as we're getting to the webinar, as we're getting closer and closer to Sunday, I'm posting in there, I'm nurturing the audience, and I'm letting them know that I'm excited about the training that's happening on Sunday. But there's a lot of ways that you can do this. Like if you drop a new product, if you drop a new offer, you can post it in the Facebook group, and it's literally some money printer because it sends those push notifications out to everyone's phone anytime you post. Now, at the end of the webinar, this is actually what took us from $1 million a month to $2 million a month. At the end of the webinar, after we pitched the $1,500 offer, because in the beginning, my business was just this. It was literally just free training, sell a $1,500 course at the end, and then we would make a lot of money. Then it got to a point where I was like, okay, how can we get to the next level? So we added this Calendly link on a thank you page. So at the end of the webinar, when we would pitch our $1,500 offer, as soon as they would buy this, it would take them to a thank you page. And on that thank you page is a video of me saying, hey, congratulations for enrolling into Ecom Degree University. The first thing that I want you to do is to book this welcome call with my team. So now, let's say I get 30 people that buy, all 30 of those people go and book this welcome call with my team. This is also my sales team. So they book a call with my sales team. My sales team's like, hey, congratulations for enrolling. Like, here's all the links that you need to like get into the course. Also, they will tell you about like his more hands-on training. They're like, no. And then boom, it leads to an upsell. So what we've seen is 40% of the people that end up buying our $1,500 offer, immediately after they buy that, they upgrade to our $5,000. And it's because the best time to sell someone is right after they bought something. That's when motivation is high, that's when excitement is high. And we tell them that they have a 48-hour window to upgrade to the $5,000 program and use what they just spent on the webinar as a credit. So we give them a discount. And that gives them some urgency, and that increases the conversion rate a lot as well. So like if you like basic math, let's say you spend $20,000 on ads. And when I say ads, this could be $20,000 on pages, $20,000 on a podcast, $20,000 on like meta ads. It's just promotion. And let's say you spend that and you get a $15 cost per lead. So you spend $20,000 and it costs you $15 to get someone to actually register for your training. So if you do the math on that, that means you would get about 1,333 registrants for your training. Now, this is being very conservative, guys. Let's say only 20% of that 1,333 actually show up. So 80% don't even show up. Let's say only 20% show up. That means you would have 266 people in the room. And then if you convert at like a 10% conversion rate, which all of my clients on a live webinar, they're close to this 10% number, that means you would get 26 people to buy the $1,500 offer. That's $39,000 in revenue. So if you do the numbers, you're $19,000 in profit, but because we added that extra element of booking a call, there's actually more money to be made. So these 26 people that bought, remember, they're all also gonna book a call. Now let's say out of those 26 people that bought, only 30% of them choose to upgrade to the $5,000 program. You just made an extra $39,000 on the back end. And that's where all the real money is made. So you do the numbers, you spend $20,000, you made $39,000 on the front end,
You made an extra $39,000 in the back end that you didn't have to pay for. Those customers you already paid for. So you had a total revenue of $78,000. Profit is $58,000. And this is essentially what we were doing, but at a much higher scale. We were spending 6 figures a week, making multiple 6 figures a week, but with the same formula. Now, as far as advanced strategies, I tried to give you guys like the most simple system that you can implement and go and make money, because literally every single one of you guys, if you have something that, again, that you're better at than most people, today you could literally post content, you could find pages that have your following, you could pay them, and you could get in front of people so fast and get them to a free training. You could literally make money in the next 7 days if you implement what I just taught you. Now, that's like the basic system. With that alone, if you actually do it, you should make 7 figures. Like, it's so easy to make over $1 million a year selling information because the margin is so high. And again, the delta between people consuming content and people posting content is so big that literally if you just try and you just pay these people to get in front of their audiences, you will make money. Now, once you have that actually running, there's a couple advanced things that you can do. So going back to the Facebook group, again, we use the Facebook group to increase the show rate of the webinar. Because imagine, like, we did the numbers with a 20% show rate. But if you got the show rate to 40%, you just doubled your money. With everything staying the same, conversion rate staying the same, the amount of people booking the call staying the same, you double your money just by the show rate going up. So we use the Facebook group to increase the show rate. We're posting reminders in the Facebook group. And then something that I do that I haven't really seen anyone do, and I don't know why, because it makes a lot of money. On the webinar, as people are enrolling, as I'm pitching $1,500 offer, I tell all of the people on the webinar, I'm like, hey, if you just enrolled in the program, go ahead and post in the Facebook group and let everyone know you just enrolled. My team's gonna see it, and then they're gonna put you in the private Facebook group. And what this does is, keep in mind, if you have a 20% show rate, 80% of the people didn't show up, but they're in the Facebook group. So now, out of nowhere, people are getting a bunch of push notifications like, hey, I just joined Will's program, I just joined. And then what happens is people start FOMO buying. They're like, yo, what the fuck is going on? What am I missing out on? They jump on the webinar and they literally just buy, like right at the pitch. So this increases sales because I think it's called like the social something principle. The social proof principle. People tend to follow the actions of others under the assumption that the group's behavior reflects correct behavior. And that shit is true, right? So like, I have all these people buy, they post in the Facebook group, and then we see a whole nother wave of sales, a whole nother wave of people getting the webinar because they feel like they're missing out. So that's another way that we use the Facebook group that's made us a lot of money. Now, financing, right? We're in a time right now where if you don't have the right financing partners, then you're not gonna make a lot of money. For us right now, over 50% of the people that buy from us are using some type of buy now, pay later. And right now we pitch literally the buy now, like instead of saying, hey, this is a $5,000 program, we tell them, hey, this is $300 a month. It's way more digestible for the customer, and we're able to get them into plans where they literally just pay that $300 and the financing partner will pay us the $5,000 up front. So, you know, when you're pitching like that, you're able to increase your conversion rates and make a lot more money. So I know LeadFi is one of the sponsors here. That's who we actually use for buy now, pay later. We use their firm, so definitely talk to my guy Douglas if you need that. But right now, like literally over 50% of our deals are all through them, using their buy now, pay later system. And AI. Right? Like everybody's talking about AI right now. Whenever you go on Twitter, social media, there's like some new AI shit coming out. And there's a lot of bullshit out there. Like I haven't even fucked with OpenClaw at all, really, because it's like complicated. But this is what I'm doing with AI that's actually simple that any of you guys can use. I use these two platforms called HeyGen and 11 Labs. 11 Labs, what that will do is like you could say, basically you'll record yourself saying anything, and then it can clone your voice. So now you can just, let's say, copy and paste the script from ChatGPT or Claude into it, and it'll read it using your exact voice. And then HeyGen will clone like your whole body, or you can use another avatar. And with these two, you can pretty much make ads that look exactly like you, sound exactly like you, but you don't have to record anything. So now 100% of our ads, pretty much, as of the end of this week are all gonna be AI, because we can just pump out a lot more ads now. And now that I've made like a lot more money, I'm lazier, to be honest. So it's like, when my team is like, yo, go record this, I'm like, nah. So we use this now, and we're able to do 100 ads a day. Like these 2 videos right here, they're all AI. Like to the screen, so like you can tell like it looks exactly like me, and if I were to play it, you'd be like, man, that sounds exactly like me. So people can't tell, and also like it's hard to make ads off the dome, like to just think of something captivating to say, and it's annoying to always have to use like a teleprompter. So this is cool because I can just go into Claude and I can just make a whole bunch of scripts, paste it in here, and then it'll read it word for word, and I know that it's gonna work. And then as soon as something works, I can take that winning ad and make like 100 different variations, iterations of that winning ad. So that's how we're using AI to scale. Now, making money online and making money with coaching courses and all that, it's cool, but you know, I think there's nothing that can make you a millionaire faster, in my opinion. But once you do that, and let's say you want to build like generational wealth, you want to be able to exit a company, make hundreds of millions of dollars, you have to start to zoom out and really look at your company as something that can actually build enterprise value. And this is pretty much the flywheel that we have going on. So we have Ecom Degree, her last call. Both these companies feed these 2 AI companies, these software companies. Scam Profit is an Amazon Walmart software. Closer.ai is a sales software. And all the girls that we train how to get into sales, we hire them for the Medicare agency. And then all the money that Ecom Degree makes goes into the Medicare agency as well, which that's actually like the 9-figure play that we see happening in the next 3 years. But I know we gotta wrap it up. We got other speakers coming up, so that was the value that I have for you to get today. Hopefully